And good morning, everybody. Today is September 5th, 2013.
Yay!
This is the Tech Lunch Roundtable.
Early in the morning.
Early in the morning. I'm Jason.
I'm Mish.
And we're both Stone Mountain Consultants. Again, we're here bringing you Tech Lunch Roundtable. So even though September, we're going to start your day off unlogically.
Okay.
Even though this is the 9th month, September means what?
Sep is, it's not 6, 7th.
Right.
Yeah.
But this is the 9th month.
Yeah, and,
so it means 7.
What is Oct? October, everybody knows that an octopus has 8.
But that's the 10th month.
I'm confused.
So when they start you off teaching you in school how nothing makes sense, you can understand how nothing makes sense in the world.
This is true.
But as far as, let's see, what else? As far as making sense, we try to make sense of the unlogically stuff. See, that's how unlogically can make sense, because oct can mean it's your 10th month, but, you know, it means 8, so.
Figure that one out.
Anyhow. So our website is smc.io. On our website, you'll see a bunch of links to our social media pages where you can join us, follow us, tweet us, anything you want to us. You can also see our show notes for today's show, for example. I usually update that as we speak and talk.
We speak and talk?
And there
that's going to be a pretty much a much like I'm doing right now, a uncommon trait and skill. You know how to talk? Wow, you're intelligent, especially when you're dealing with McNuggets.
Yeah, that's there is a video out there
which you can throw on the or show notes if anybody wants to watch it.
I will.
Crazy people. I'm
assuming a woman came up to a McDonald's drive-thru wanting her chicken McNuggets like at 1:30 in the morning, which apparently don't try to poison you after around that time. So I mean, she looks and acts like a zombie. She even grunts like. I guess it's Toledo, Ohio. That's what the security cam said. Toledo, McDonald's, or whatever. Anyhow, so yeah, I'll put it in the show notes. It'll be an interesting watch. You know, wow. I guess chicken McNuggets really are that good.
They're tasty, but after learning what they really are, never going to have one again.
We'll call this the Unlogically Show. Hey, we go over tech news. I will also put the links to any of the articles that we refer to and stuff like that. We kind of focus on privacy, and actually we do have and how that's lacking nowadays. We actually have a little audio report from Ben Swan. He's an investigative reporter, very good. How the Data Hub collects all your information, how any person can look at that data, and he'll explain that. So, but anyways, I guess we'll start out with the news, which actually I did not bring up yet.
I did.
Woohoo!
Somebody was
start us off.
Okay, let's see. We'll start with, can you really be liable for texting a driver? This is from CNN. And 3 New Jersey judges surprised phone owners everywhere Tuesday with a new message. You don't have to be texting and driving to get in trouble. You might be liable for a crash if you are on the other end of the phone too, which is stupid because if I'm texting Jason, he's driving. I don't know if he's driving. So I can't be liable for information I don't have. You're only liable for things that you know you're doing wrong. Or you do something, like you break and enter. You're entering a place. You know you're entering a place. That is stupid.
Right.
Now just say, well, I didn't know.
Again, we're continuing our theme of unlogically today.
Yes, unlogical, and also, your reality has no place be here.
Right. Now the big news. Now this is the big news for, how can I put it?
Stupidity?
Yeah. But then I'll cover the real big news.
For unstupidity?
Yahoo revealed yesterday their new logo.
I didn't see that.
I just added it this morning.
Well,
apparently,
that the poopers.
Apparently, they were in the process of redoing it, and every day for the past month they revealed a different
conceptual thing.
Well, yeah, a different example of their new logo. But they announced the winner yesterday. It's okay.
It's not loading on mine, so I'll just give it a minute. There you go. It's the same one.
Instead of purple, it's more like a bluish purple. It's less cartoony. It's more straight-lined Arial font, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
The
last O is a little bigger than the other O, like it's winking at you, or it's psychopathic.
And the Y is still a little larger, and the H is a little larger, and the exclamation point is a little crooked for you the radio listeners. Not that we have video watchers, but anyhow,
well,
that's the big news.
Yeah, I mean that's important stuff. I mean, wow, who freaking cares?
Wow, you're just so.
I know, I'm so out of touch with the world that the more important things like people's liabilities with texting are more important than Yahoo changing their logo. It's like we changed our logo. It's like big whooping deal. Woo, whoopity-doo, Basil.
The big news I consider, or one of the big news is WikiLeaks did release a bunch of documentation for, apparently they're calling it Spy Files 3, 249 documents from 92 global intelligence contractors. These documents actually reveal how, as the intelligence world has privatized U.S., European Union, have rushed into spending millions on next-generation mass surveillance technology. So these documents are actually brochures, mainly in data sheets from the equipment that apparently they're looking at or maybe be using. I did look at a few of them. They're pretty interesting in what they can do, how they can monitor deep packet inspection, for example, mass monitoring, where they can monitor a massive network and look at the data being sent through it, analysis software. It is on the WikiLeaks.org site. I know at one point, even the government said that, people who visit WikiLeaks.org, their own employees could be arrested. But you know what? Grow some balls and go to the website and look at it. That's what I say.
Balls.
Yep, that's what I say. Come on, it's a free country for now. Do it.
Wow.
Look at it. Look what your country's doing and spending your money on.
Yep, exactly.
But it is interesting to see what they are looking at and so forth.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's like, duh. This is
and it's not cheap either.
Of course not. This is the most expensive thing probably the NSA and whatnot do.
Right. And speaking of which, so there is a
text message coming in.
It's an earthquake.
Woo! Yes, there have been a lot of them.
There have been a heck of a lot of them.
Big ones, too. 5 to 6s.
This is a 5.3. Let's see if I can pull it up here. Our internet's a little sluggish.
Yes, we're even having some issues.
It's not showing up yet. Anyhow, let me save that before I lose it. I need to save it so the NSA knows it's there.
Exactly.
Something called a Data Hub. It's actually an area, a physical place, or a data location where NSA and the HHS and all that store their information, and it can be retrieved. It's information about you. Ben Swan is a investigative reporter that goes into detail about, your liberty and how it can affect you and all that. And this one's about 8 minutes. I guess we'll play it after the break. But he goes into detail on what it is. Basically, he informs you on what is whatever it is, and explains the positives and the negatives of it. So he explains Data Hub and what is private. In fact, he questions, is there any private data anymore? And there apparently isn't with this, because soon they're going to want to know what kind of panties you wear.
But don't wear panties.
No, they know.
Oh,
anyway, so what we'll do is we'll come right after the break, and then we'll play the Ben Swan Data Hub. And again, I'll put a link in the show notes to his site where you can read more about it and watch it again.
Did you know that each year 1 in 10 laptops are lost or stolen? 1 in 4 computers suffer data loss, and 7 in 10 firms with major data loss go under. Never risk your critical data files on undependable manual backups or inferior data storage solutions. Face it, data loss is a fact of life. It's not if you're going to lose your data, it's when. Protect your business with the most secure and reliable backup solution available. The single most valuable business insurance you can buy is just a click or a phone call away. Call Stone Mountain Consultants at 276-664-1476 or check out their website at smc.io. That's smc.io.
It is called the Federal Data Hub. Massive amounts of information gathered on every American and shared between government agencies. Agencies ranging from the IRS to the Department of Defense, Homeland Security, and Health and Human Services. The best part here, there is no opting out. So who has access to all this information? And the bigger question, does private information even exist anymore? The first step toward truth is to be informed. There is, as we speak, an army of new federal government employees being hired by the Department of Health and Human Services. So why does HHS need all these new employees? Well, the answer is pretty simple. The massive new health care law, the Affordable Care Act, is behind schedule, and the feds need to start signing up Americans for health care exchanges as quickly as possible. So what kind of information is going to be collected? Well, when individuals sign up for federal insurance exchanges, they're required to enter their personal information into the new Federal Data Hub. We're talking about information like medical records, social security numbers, tax information, even bank account information. Now, this is done by allowing 7 different government agencies, including the IRS, Department of Justice, Social Security Administration, and others, to share and verify information in order to determine eligibility for an insurance subsidy. In short, basically everything about you will be shared among multiple agencies. But remember, no actual agency can see or access any information. People working in those agencies do. So who specifically will be able to access this information? They are called navigators, men and women who are being hired to work for between $20 and $48 per hour. Sounds like specialized work that would require highly trained individuals. Yeah, not so much. Because the requirements to become one of these navigators do not even include a high school diploma. And even though these navigators will have access to just about every piece of personal information on millions of Americans enrolled in the exchange, they are not even required to pass a background check. That is what the House Committee on Oversight and Government Reform has been told by HHS. Navigators will only have to take a 20 to 30 hour online course about how the 1,200-page ACA works. That's right, just an online course. Now, interesting, there is another role these navigators have that deserves a mention. There's more to the role of the navigators than just signing Americans up for the healthcare exchange. Navigators will also be responsible for registering Americans to vote. According to People's World magazine in California, California's Secretary of State Deborah Bowen is designating the state's new health benefit exchange, Covered California, as a voter registration agency under the National Voter Registration Act. Well, that means Covered California will be incorporating voter registration into every transaction, online, in person, and by phone. So to be clear, these navigators will have access to every bit of your personal and financial information. Federal employees who haven't even been given so much as a background check. Of course, HHS says you have nothing to worry about. Marilyn Taverner is the head of HHS's Centers for Medicare and Medicaid Services. She testified before Congress saying this, quote, "I want to assure you and all Americans that when they fill out their health insurance marketplace applications, they can trust the information they're providing is protected." But how would any American know that? Even if there were background checks, how can Americans trust that a federal data hub that involves the gathering and consolidation of so much information not be attacked by hackers or compromised by those inside the departments? We don't know what will happen, but we do have evidence of how some other expansive government agencies with even less intrusion into your life are functioning. An audit by the Government Accountability Office of the TSA, or the Transportation Security Administration, points out major problems in that agency, including TSA agents accused of taking bribes from drug traffickers in Los Angeles, or 56 cases alleging theft since 2010, including a 2011 incident involving a screener at the Orlando International Airport who pleaded guilty to stealing more than 80 laptops and other electronic devices, valued at $80,000. There were 426 cases of neglect of duty, 384 cases of ethical violations like bribery or credit card abuse. And then there are the agents who were caught sleeping on the job. But the biggest problem here isn't even the behavior of those agents. According to the GAO, half of the workers accused of sleeping on the job received less than the lowest penalty called for by agency policies. In all, the GAO found over 9,600 cases of misconduct in an agency that only has the power to allow you to get on an airplane. Well, what you need to know is that when it comes to the National Data Hub, there is a bigger question here than just one of whether or not HHS navigators might be overstepping their role by registering voters with this personal information. A bigger question of whether or not the information compiled in the Data Hub is susceptible to fraud or corrupt workers. The most important question, does personal or private information exist anymore? Chances are the feds would say no. After all, we know the NSA believes they have the right to read your emails and listen to your phone calls. So why wouldn't they have the right to any and all of your private information, even your banking information? The federal apparatus that is nearly complete is telling you that you don't have the right to withhold anything about yourself and your life from government. But that is simply not true. The rights to privacy are all but gone in America today, but consider this. You do not belong to the state. Your money, your business, your private correspondence, and your conversations, your identity belongs to you and to you alone. Those in power know it, but the population has forgotten it. It's time that we remember.
All right, we're back here. Who are we? Tech Lunch Roundtable. I'm Jason.
I'm Mish.
And that was Ben Swan. I added the show notes on our website, which is smc.io. If you click on shows and go over to today's show, of course, this is September 5th. There's a link to his website and more information on that. So it's just kind of, I thought it was a good review of how, and analysis of how there is nothing private anymore.
Yeah.
There is actually another one, which maybe I'll add to the show notes if I can find it again, about, again, people, can I come into your house and just look around? People would say no, but, the government is doing it right now.
Yeah. Or they say, well, if you don't have anything to hide, what are you scared of? It's like, I'm not scared of anything. It's just you don't have the right.
Right. Let's see.
Cookie crumbles. I mean, if you don't exercise your rights, you don't have any rights. So don't complain when people take all your stuff. the government takes all your money and all that, and then tells you, no, you can't have your kids. Oh, you can't have money. You can't have that car. It's like, well, I have a right to my stuff. No, you didn't exercise them earlier, so you give them up. That's the way the cookie crumbles. If you don't exercise your rights, you won't have any rights.
Exactly.
Everyone is stupid except me.
Hey, that's a new one. I like that one.
I like this one.
Well, of course, everything looks bad if you remember it.
That was a good one. I like that one a lot. Play it again, the first one.
The first one?
Yes.
Boy, everyone is stupid except me.
Wow. Okay. Speaking of stupidity, Microsoft has agreed to buy. Excuse me, they haven't agreed to buy. They did.
Has shelled out $7.2 billion
for Nokia, according to Steve Ballmer.
Yeah.
Nokia.
Maybe that's why he's being kicked out, because he knew that they were going to be. He was retiring because he had everything. Nokia. We're buying them. They're doing New York company.
They announced Monday night they're going to buy Nokia's mobile phone business. And of course, this is supposedly hits Microsoft squarely against Apple and Google. I guess. I mean, how many people use Nokia's phones around here?
It's true, and actually, I like Nokia's phone. Nokia's phone much better because they actually are the oldest phone maker in business.
And they're super large in Europe. They're not really known for their fancy-dancy-pantsy phones.
Yes, that's when they came out with their Windows Phone ones. But beyond that, those flip phones and whatnot, all those kind of things, that's them. They're like hot butter.
When does this take place? I mean, of course, it probably has to go through the government.
According to IDC and the government, because the government controls everything.
Now, it could fit Microsoft. They are running the Microsoft Windows 7 phones. That's their only operating system that they use, Nokia.
Mm-hmm. Looks like HTC and Samsung have them too, so I don't know. Does that give me a conflict of interest? They're owning Nokia?
I don't know. I mean, Google makes their own phones, but,
nobody else makes their own. Oh, yeah, I guess Google. Google makes their own.
That's what I meant.
Google, a large multinational conglomerate that controls everybody's lives. Google. I mean Microsoft. I mean the government. I mean Apple.
Right. Let's see here. What else we got going on here? Let's see. This is special. Yesterday, Samsung announced their Galaxy $299 US Galaxy Gear smartwatch coming September 25th. It's a watch. No, it's a phone. No, it's a thing that no one will buy. It links up with Samsung's Galaxy smartphones and tablets to let users know when they receive a call, text message, or email.
So it's a Bluetooth device.
Let's see here. Well, let's see what it operates on. It's a 1.63-inch watch face and runs on Google's Android operating system. The watch strap is available in several colors, from black to oatmeal beige to wild orange.
Ooh, wild orange. So when you're wearing it down the street, give me your Google watch. Okay, here, sir.
It's a I don't know. I mean, can I cut wood with it? Can I?
What if you don't have service? What if an EMP occurs and your watch is useless?
Right. Anyhow, so whoop-de-doo. Now, I don't have this on here, but it is said that September 10th which is in 5 days. And what is that? That is a Monday. No, next Tuesday, which is the day they typically do it. Apple will be revealing 2 new iPhones.
Sorry.
I guess maybe the 5C or something. and one would be a low priced for emerging markets, like a plastic unit.
Probably better equipped and better handle balls then.
Maybe. What was I going to say about that? Obviously, this is except for the low-priced unit, the rumored 5C. I don't know what I would call 5C, but anyhow, I was going to say, it's more of an evolutionary update than a revolutionary new one. So.
Maybe they should make a 5W where it's actually a wider one. Then they get a little 5T, then it's a little taller. Then they'll have 5G for its size of freaking the galaxy. I think the 5 is way too big. I think these phones are getting way too big.
They are getting bigger.
It's like that's the only plus on that phone, the Samsung watch, is that it's smaller. So you actually put a phone in there. There you go.
Well, it's not really a phone. It connects to the phone.
Yeah, it's basically just an app for the phone.
And if the text message or the email is too large to fit, they have to go back to their phone.
Exactly. But
what the hell?
If they can make a phone the size of a watch, going back to the old days when we had, our Motorola Razors and whatnot.
Razor.
Yeah. When we had actually tiny phones that could fit anywhere, that would be awesome. I mean, that we have the holographic technology to display stuff in the air.
Yeah, you can holograph it on someone's butt.
Yeah.
Maybe you can be talking into someone's butt.
That takes the whole butt dialing to a new level.
Now, before we go to a break, this will be on our show notes, of course. There's a Greek community that's created an off-the-grid internet. I just thought it was extremely interesting what they were able to accomplish. Basically, they were... it's actually a community right in Athens, Greece. Mm-hmm. They've created their own private internet. The network of wireless rooftop antennas, it's called the Athens Wireless Metropolitan Network, has more than 1,000 members, and it moves through that network. It's basically a mesh network up to 30 times faster than the internet, or the telecom-provided internet, and it's just brilliant. I guess it was an article in Mother Jones, how they were tired of the poor internet service, so they decided to do something about it. So again, interesting article, read about it, create your own. Yeah. So we'll be right.
To break, I was going to say that it is a good idea because it just shows that the telecom companies can't roll your world because you can actually do things off grid.
Right.
Perfect.
Okay. Bagel? Check. Coffee? Oh yeah, check. Hey, did the Sox win last night? Let's see. Oh, come on. This thing is so slow. This is just ridiculous.
Tired of your computer wasting your valuable time? Then it's time to get it tamed from the Stone Mountain Consultants. They can remote right in and get it up to speed. Call them at 276-664-1476 or visit their website at smc.io.
I have 2 shotguns at my home. They're locked in a safe. There's a metal gun case. We live in an area that's wooded, somewhat secluded. And I said, Jill, if there's ever a problem, just walk out on the balcony and fire 2 blasts outside the house. Buy a shotgun. Buy a shotgun. You don't need a machine gun. You don't need 30 rounds. Buy a shotgun. Buy a double-barrel shotgun.
You don't need a flamethrower, and you don't need a tank, and you don't need an AR-15. Scare those thugs away. No, and I don't need a grenade launcher. I don't need an F-15. There's just one thing I need to do, and I'll stay away from me.
Fire 2 blasts outside the house. Buy a shotgun.
Buy a shotgun.
Buy a shotgun.
Yeah, buy a shotgun, baby.
You don't need a machine gun. You don't need 30 rounds. Buy a shotgun. Buy a double-barrel shotgun. Americans could be killed by drones. In your bed at night, in your home. Say it isn't so. Americans could be killed by drones.
a cafe in San Francisco. You never get notified. Your notification is the buzz of the bro as it flies overhead before you go into your bed. Bombed in your sleep, you won't get a chance to speak.
Calm down, Senator. To somehow say we would kill people in cafes is simply false.
Yes, sir.
It is simply false.
We don't want to blow up the cafe.
Hey, I'm not that bad. Please don't kill me.
He will not kill you.
Are you gonna drop a missile on Jane Fonda?
No, he will not bomb Jane Fonda.
Americans could be killed by a drone.
Calm down, sir.
In your bed at night. In your home.
Calm down.
Your home.
Calm down.
Your home.
Calm down.
Your home. Your home. Your home.
Now announces a 2-minute chocolate break. Chocolate in the house. Chocolate is mandatory.
The National Security Agency building a 1 million square foot complex in Utah that will house phone call and email data.
This is something that's not our place to decide. The public needs to decide whether these programs and policies are right or wrong.
What the heck is going on?
It's a data collection thing.
The federal judge says, it's okay, it's okay.
They hold phone records like the NSA.
It's all BS.
Like the NSA.
Whoa, whoa. They sit there and they have the numbers and they can play all day long.
Like the NSA.
What the heck is going on? Fire to blast. Whoa. What the heck is going on?
Americans could be killed
by a shotgun,
by a drone,
by a flamethrower.
in your home.
Like the NSA.
Calm down, absurd.
Americans could be killed
By a left-wing website. What the heck is going on? Fire to blast. What the heck is going on?
Americans could be killed
By a shotgun,
by a drone,
by a flamethrower.
in your home.
Like the NSA.
Calm down, absurd.
Americans could be killed
By a left-wing website.
Welcome back to Tech Lunch Roundtable with me, Mish, Jaison, and
Having an early lunch at 9:30 Eastern Time.
Hey, I eat my lunch usually about 10:30, so I can get some work done.
This is the unlogical show.
Okay.
Fine. I'll never ever do another stupid thing. Good night.
Didn't that hurt?
No.
Awesome. Let's see. Our website is smc.io. That's our website where you can find links to our show notes, where we review we list all of the articles that we refer to and some of the videos that we play, such as the one that we just played. That's by the Gregory Brothers. They songify the news, as they say. Let's see, what else? Also, there are links to our social media stuff, so you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook and Google Plus and YouTube. Our phone number, if you want to call in, is 818-739-8894. It's 818-739-8894. Got one more article here, another part of the release of, this came from the Washington Post, from Edward Snowden. There is which not surprisingly, we kind of knew it, black budget. U.S. spy agencies have built an intelligence gathering colossus since the attacks of September 11th. The $52.6 billion black budget for fiscal 2013, of course, maps a bureaucratic and operational landscape that has never been subject to public scrutiny. So, like we said before, there's more than one layer of the government. There's the layer you see and the layer underneath that no one sees.
Yep. I mean, people often say, well, there's no secret government. There's no, shadow government. It's like, yes, there is. Because if anything that you know about bureaucrats, everybody does stuff in the background, stuff under the table. Evil. Not always evil, but most of the time it is, because why would you hide things? If you didn't hide, things were in the open, it means you're probably not doing anything bad. If it's in the background, it means that you're doing something that you don't want seen by people because they think, oh, bad.
Yeah, there is a can't find it right now. I can't play anything from my computer, can I?
Negative, Ghost Rider.
Now listen, Dick. I want to tell you something about Reno. You have to be really careful, okay? Because these gambling casinos play on people's weakness and gullibility. Free money!
That's government.
Yeah. I can't find it on his website now. He had kind of talked about what is private and all that. Oh, no?
Well, of course, everything looks bad if you remember it.
It's actually true. Well, anyhow, so that's our articles. Now, we actually had gone over something a couple weeks ago.
Mm-hmm.
It's in our show notes from a couple weeks ago about how it came to light that a lot of the bugs, quote unquote,
yes,
are not really bugs, quote unquote,
but intentionally put there
to be accessed. Basically, security holes
mm-hmm.
on purpose.
And if you want, a lot of and they've been putting things in like that for a long time.
Yeah, that article I think was even from, was it 2000?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2000. So it's been going on for quite a while. So even things like, it was even PGP,
mm-hmm.
Which is a program that allows you to encrypt your email.
Yes.
I
remember that.
And it's still around. How it had a major flaw in it, but it
turned out it was not a flaw; it was intentionally put there.
Right.
Yeah, and that's the thing that people need to understand about technology. That chances are it's not secure. Even things that you think is secure, like we just set up our own secure email so that we can talk to people securely, at least internally and whatnot. But the thing about it is that it's not really secure, but it's almost secure. If you catch my drift, it's like you can never have a 100% safe area. There's always variables. So like in Windows, there's a back door in Windows that allows Microsoft to gain access. You can turn them off. Like we talked about it, the trusted TPM, Trusted Platform Management.
Yep.
That's the chip, but they've always had a little process in the background that allowed them to gain access to the computer. I think after Windows XP, I think it was XP, they had it.
Right, especially Windows 8 now.
Yes, it's
because it allows Microsoft. What it does is it contacts Microsoft and checks to see if this program is a virus or not, and all that. And Microsoft has the ability to go into the computer and actually remove it.
Yes, which means that they could actually remove something important, or they can remove. They could do something else. Because kind of like say the security guys for your the place you work, they come in. They check the security panel, make sure it's good to go, and leave. And they have keys to everything. Okay, they just do that, and that's what they've always done. But one day they could come in, open all the doors, and take everything, and then leave. And make because you've given them access to everything, or a certain little bit that you don't realize that they could have access to everything.
Right.
These hackers, there are hackers out there that do some of this stuff, but most of this stuff is done using flaws that were there intentionally. there's been a lot of hubbub about all these GPS hacks. There was a yacht that was hacked, the GPS, and they sent it off course, so they could have actually just set it to run aground. They could have, there was a drone, I think it was a Predator class one, that had the same thing. They put it off, and then there was the cars. They were able to hack a car and make it go different places, and do, like, the brakes will come on, or it will just jam down the accelerator. And just like the one, I think his name is Michael Hastings, that a lot of people think that he was killed, not he was murdered, not just didn't die accidentally because the car kind of just went forward very quickly.
Right.
Toyota. I'm sorry, it was a Mercedes-Benz. That's what I think about the modern car, the newer stuff, is that it has all these computers and you don't know what's running. You don't know what kind of transmitters are in it. So, things to know about hacking. Because a lot, back in the day, you would think, you'd have to print lines of code and whatnot, not just run a little program that says, I want to have access to Jason's car. Okay, I have access. Now what do you want to do? And now I just check off the things I wanted to do. Not start, which is actually getting more frequent, and battery drain, that kind of stuff. You could actually program that stuff into these kind of cars. Because, there's like your smartphone. Your smartphone can do so many things. It knows where you are. It can determine, like, your heart rate, because while you're holding it, it has a accelerometer, and it's a very sensitive one. So it can figure out your heartbeat, so it knows your vitals. It can look if you're talking on it or whatnot. The camera can take a picture of your skin and see if you're flushed. Do you have a tan? Do you have? They look at your eyes. Do you?
Right. Even the camera in the Xbox Kinect can tell who has entered the room and who's not in the room.
Exactly.
But in who exactly it is.
Yes, because you've already, that person is, maybe logged into that Xbox, and you don't realize that you just gave them all this information, plus also, billing information. So, like, say your friend came over. He's about to play on your Xbox One. He doesn't have the game. He didn't buy it, but you did. It sees that, I'm sorry, you're not XYZ. You need, but we'll deduct it automatically from your credit card. Okay, here you go. It's like, thanks. That's the thing one of the things that was kind of scary about the Xbox One is that there's a little too much automation, if you know what I mean.
Right. So as we say, technology can help but can also hurt. It can hurt if it's in the wrong hands, and lots of times it's in the wrong hands.
Yep. And no corporation, I have never seen a corporation that has done things for your benefit. Ever. Name a company that does things for your benefit, that's not looking out for their own. Now, there are organizations, but no corporations.
Right. Well, we'll be right back after this break. Our call-in number is 818-739-8894. Do you have a small business? Do you have a hobby that you want to share with others? You need your own website. It's not as complicated as you think. A website is much, much more than having a simple Facebook page. You don't own or control what you post on Facebook. Did you know that? With your own website, you control and maintain your own content. It's all yours. We here at Stone Mountain Consultants can help you from the start in creating your own space on the information superhighway. We can help you create your own domain, start up your website. We can even help you maintain it. Call Stone Mountain Consultants
at 276-664-1476 or check out our website at smc.io. Again, that's 276-664-1476 or check out our website at smc.io. We'll be more than happy to help.
Email is critical for business. In fact, it's revolutionized the way we conduct business. But when it's not working or optimized, it causes major problems. Did you know that 1/3 of in-house email outages last more than 24 hours? Many businesses say sales numbers are impacted after only 1 hour without email. And today's workforces are more virtual than ever, requiring instant access to email, up-to-date calendars, contacts, and tasks from anywhere at any time. But not all email is worth your time. It's estimated that more than 80% of email is spam. So the question is, are you managing your email, or is your email managing you?
Call the Computer Tamers at 860-456-1310 or visit thecomputertamers.com.
You can't expect to wield supreme executive power just because some watery tart threw a sword at you.
Yes. Tart. Exactly. I like the British sometimes. The humor is on target. Anyway, we're back and just finishing up talking about hacking and your technology and how nothing is safe. Nothing. Everything is potentially going to hurt you. Hey, just look up. If you're in a building, go outside and look up. You see those lines in the sky? Because I would say 9 out of 10 of you can look up, you'll see lines in the sky. Those are called chemtrails.
Unless you do crisscross puzzles in your eyes.
This is true, unless you like, the sky to look like a Scottish tartan, little or you like the whole plaid look. Those are chemtrails. Those lines are not real clouds. They are full of barium, strontium, and aluminum, all poisonous to you. And it sits up there, blocks sunlight, and then eventually, because everything must come down, that stuff is raining down on you and going into your crops, your water supply, your everything. So if you have a little garden, or like say somebody else has a garden and they bring over say apples to you, there could be that stuff in it because barium is and strontium are radioactive. So because you take a barium solution when they want to do a stress test on your heart. Because see where if you have any blockage, so they can see actually because it's radioactive, they can actually see where it's going. And as people know, that radiation is not good for you, so those are bad. Aluminum is a fuel, even though it's a metal, because it's one of those few fuels that actually will burn because it's metal, like magnesium, how it makes a spark. But aluminum is what causes Alzheimer's disease. So more Alzheimer's will be around. And when you see that stuff up in the air, you just have to think, I'm getting poison right now. Then you go to McDonald's and say, what's in this food? Is this really chicken? No. Chicken nuggets. High fructose corn syrup in the sodas. Not real beef in the burger itself. GMO, genetically modified organisms. And like I said before, no corporation looks out for your best interest. They look for their own interest. They only look out for your interest when it gives them money or they have to. Way corporations go. If anybody, the meat that most just have to watch like Food Inc., or Food Matters, you'll learn, like, you'll strongly want to be a vegetarian very quickly because of how they treat the animals and how they process them. I mean, there's something to be said about the Muslims and the Jewish kosher. They treat the animals with respect. They make sure it's clean. They butcher it in a good way, so they're actually cleaner. That's the reason why majority of it's only in America that has this crap in it. It's illegal to have GMO in Europe, like France, Germany, England, that kind of thing. It's illegal to have all this kind of stuff there because they know better than to eat this kind of crap, because you are what you eat. So if you eat crap, you are crap, and you go freak out over somebody not having Chicken McNuggets at 10:30 a.m., which he should have. Because I used to go to McDonald's a lot. Pretty much. I used to go to them a lot, and I know I would go about 10:30 or so. I would wait about a half an hour. They would have them. I'd usually get the first ones they made, but it was like, wow, what a interesting thing.
So again, it reminds me, I gotta find that video about the
Facebook.
zombie.
Yes, it's on my Facebook and your Facebook. The last things we put up, I think. So it just shows that technology, because I mean, those chemtrails are basically technology. They're trying to manipulate the weather. So that's why one of the things I find interesting is that most people will, like insurance companies, say like you have a bad thunderstorm or a hurricane comes through or something like that, and they say, "Oh, it's act of God, can't, because it's act of nature. You can't control these things, and we're not going to pay out." With all the evidence with the chemtrailing and the geoengineering and all the weather manipulation, yep, now the government and these organizations are liable for every disaster that could be considered a natural disaster. Earthquake, they could probably be found. I mean, with the HARP, with the high, what does HARP mean again? It's HAAARP. Isn't it high altitude? I can't remember. Jeez.
I'm doing a look up here.
HARP pushes
High Frequency Active Oral Research Program.
Yes. They pump high frequency radiation, because radio emissions are radiation, into the atmosphere and in the earth. And radiation is like if you microwave, which is, by the way, bad for you, let's say a potato, eventually it'll blow up because the internal radiation is expanding. Same thing happens to the Earth. There's inside of the Earth is like a potato. It'll soon expand. It won't blow up, but it'll expand enough that causes earthquakes, volcanic eruptions. And that's just from our own perspective. There's other things in the solar system that cause it. So you have like the sun, other planets, other things like that. So, and these people think, I like to say, they're playing God and trying to control things. And the problem when you're trying to control something, it generally backfires on you. So technology is not your friend sometimes. You kind of just want to go back to being a dumb, caveman. Safer. Just have to deal with these saber-toothed tigers. Not the zombie people looking for Chicken McNuggets at 10:30 in the morning.
1:30 in the morning.
Oh, 1:30. I'm sorry.
But well, let's see. So you just need to be really careful of what you do and say online.
And even just say in front of your phone, on your phone and on other people's phones, because they can detect. Like, say you're on your friend's phone, they can determine that, oh, that's Mish talking on Jason's phone. There you go. They'll subcategorize it into that.
Exactly.
Yeah. So beware, be wary, and
beware and wear your underwear.
Always. Toodles. That's it for us.
boy. Everyone is stupid except me.